All right. Hey, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much for your availability. It's really nice having you here. And as a first question, I was wondering whether you could share some insights of your role as head of the Health Division at OECD. And also, you will also be speaking at a panel later. So what does personally matter for you? Why is it important for you to be here and discuss about democracy and demographic changes?
Okay, I'm the head of the OECD Health Division. So OECD, it's an intergovernmental organization, 38 member states, mostly high income, although we have some middle income countries as well. And so we're an economic organization. We look at health from that angle and perspective. And we look at how, also changes which are affecting economies and societies, how they affect health system and how to make health system ready, future ready, in a way. And a number of the topics which are discussed here, the 3Ds, are obviously very relevant to the work that we do. Coming to Gastein is not the first time I come. It's always a pleasure to be here. The setting is obviously fantastic. The discussions are very open and frank. And you can hear also perspective that come not just from officials, but also from civil society, from private sectors, and so forth. So I think it's quite a useful forum, also being a little bit detached from the day-to-day work, to have really like an open discussions and how do we face the future.
Mm-hmm. Thanks. And is there a specific reason why it would be also important for you to talk and discuss about democracy and demographic change at the
Well, I mean, demographic change is really one of the mega trends, which is affecting health system, societies, economies, and so forth. It's like there's a lot of talk of those mega trends. Digitalization is another one. Climate change is another one. It's going to imply a lot of profound changes into society, into health system. We need to be prepared and respond. It's not something which is new. I mean, we've seen the aging of population has been built over years, over decades, but it will have implications obviously for health system, the health needs, which are going to be changed, epidemiological shift, but also very much for health systems, not just in the health needs, but health systems. How do we finance health system of the future, knowing that we'll have many more older people and fewer working age populations, for example? Where do we find the health professionals if the pool of working age individuals is shrinking? It means that there is more competitions also for jobs. It means that it might be more difficult also to recruit people into the health profession. Do we need to rethink differently about the workforce model for the future in health, and so forth? So there are a lot of implications that demographic brings for health systems.
Mm-hmm. And following up on this concretely, what are potential impacts on different generations?
It can have impacts because obviously you will have a larger cohort of older populations and a smaller cohort of working age or younger populations. So if you think about the distribution of income, for example, that will have implication. Are we going to see more, young people that are going to be struggling, working age populations that need to pay for, a society which is more aging? So are we going to have issues of the financial sustainability of a health system? Does it create implications in terms of the way people vote? If there are more people that vote who are older people, they might have certain priorities in mind that might not be aligned with those of younger people. So there could be a potential for some tension, some divergence in views. At the same time, if we look into the future and the challenges for the futures that come also from these mega trends, those are things that will affect everybody. And I think there is a need to try to be more convergent in the way we want to address those challenges into the longer term. So if you look at issues like, for example, how old people and young people perceive climate change and the risk associated to climate change, you will see that it's not just young people that are preoccupied about that. It's also older people. So there is actually a convergence in that general preoccupation across different age group and population groups. And I think we need to unite, those common concerns to really address some of the challenges for the future.
And how can policies specifically address that and bring people together and more in line, like to really address the challenges that are there in different generations?
I mean, it's a big questions, but I guess policies needs, first of all, to be much more attentive at what different population groups, different generations say. Health system, for a start, need to be much more about what people needs, and not about what we are able to do in terms of delivery and supply structures. So having a much more focus really on the needs of individuals, of populations, of different age groups, and reorient the entire health system around those needs. I think that's a huge transformation, because the way we are built health system is not about this. It's more about what type of delivery and supply we are able to have, what type of technologies we're able to achieve and so forth, rather than really saying, okay, how does this infrastructure then makes a difference for populations and for people.
Absolutely. And is there something, especially looking ahead, maybe one thing that policymakers could do now, even like really thinking about what is there now to address this, especially as democracies in Europe are entering an era of profound demographic change?
Well, I guess it's needed to prepare now for the future. So, for example, just I did mention health workforce. Huge shortages that are seen in the health workforce, but if we look at the rate of demographic change, we have actually not been able to train enough doctors and nurses at the same pace as the speed of the demographic change. So the immediate implication is that yes, we need to train more doctors, more nurses, but looking farther ahead into the future, if we have a smaller pool of working age populations, maybe we need to also start to think differently. What type of health professional and workforce models do we want to help in the health sector? What type of roles do we want for doctors, nurses? Do we need different type of health professionals that maybe are going to be able to do certain things, the doctors and nurses maybe will not be doing anymore? How do we combine the use of technologies, particularly digital technologies, with health professionals' roles? I mean, all these questions will be very important to address for the future.
Yes, and hopefully also be discussed at the panel later.
Thank you.
So thanks so much.